Greetings. It's been a while. All right. Thank you for joining us for tonight's crisis report. So I guess the world's going into some kind of um, it's calm before the storm, I guess. So I'm going to do a Galactic channeling too, but I couldn't resist adding $5 gas to the title of this. So I'm not going to channel gas, but I guess I could. So unrest, some kind of unrest, definitely feel that. Of course, it's hard to say right now. A lot of it's manufactured as usual. It's all just a big show, basically. So, yeah, it's just they're going to rattle cages. Just expect that. I think it's kind of happening now. I think we haven't quite hit the peak of it. We're just in the beginning stages of just manufactured chaos. So the gas prices are there to push people over the edge. So we replace the pandemic with high gas prices. It's like making us pay for it or something like that. I don't know, whatever. So manufactured crisis in full swing, but it's not fully showed its full colors just yet. So I just see some unrest, in some of the at least U.S. cities. It's not really clear just yet. So they're just they replaced it with, this is a new timeline of just anything goes right now. So I don't see it as going to be a world war as of yet. I guess you never know. Well, might as well, right? Just throw a world war in there while you're at it. We won't be able to drive anywhere because we can't afford to drive anywhere. It's just, anyway, who knows? So let's see. Last time I felt London or UK was being pulled into this a little bit. They might have backed out a little bit. I do feel Germany wants to get involved with this whole Russia situation, but there are some kind of talks. Of course, that can also be connected to the UN, so who knows? We'll just see, what's going on. So they're burning the candle at both ends, basically. So, it's all right. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the propaganda. It's like being in World War II again, right? Sort of. Just at least you can see more of how phony this is all going to be. It's already phony as it is. I mean, I have to say, I think I've already said, but Ukraine, the president there is just, he's just so corrupt. I'm not sure if there is a good bone in his body. I'm not seeing much of it. Not to say the people are bad, but the government, the Ukraine president, he is lying not to say Putin's much is great either, but Ukraine president's so full of himself. I'm not sure how long he's going to survive this. When they take the capital of Ukraine, that might spark more trouble around the world. We'll have to see how that goes. So it might calm down the war, but I think it's going to more make it worse. So that might be this week or next week. It's not clear yet. Within the month. So it's coming. And most likely the capital of Ukraine will fall. Most likely. And whatever is going to be left of Ukraine after this. Move to India or somewhere else. Jeez. Let's see. Unrest. It's like $4 gas here, so enjoy it while you got it. So we'll see what else I can tap into. But as I'm talking about coming private sessions, she has a schedule here. We have a shop where that is. On the 14th still. I don't know where I am at this point. I forgot to look. Same situation here. Webinar to sign up behind the scenes, and chaos timeline in full swing. It's just a propaganda timeline. We've already seen it in in 2020, so we're seeing it again. This is just a war timeline. That's all. So, and it's called "Take Advantage of the Situation," because I don't think gas prices have to be that high. I think they're messing around as usual. It's just what they do. So if they flag my channel for talking about $5 gas, I give up. YouTube's already going down the drain as it is. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna miss YouTube. I don't have to do YouTube anymore. Kind of pretty much had enough of it, but anyway, reap the rewards while you can. So, okay, all right, bring in whoever is around. Galactic energies. I just feel like Arcturian energy. There's also other frequencies that humanity is not ready for, so we'll just kind of water that down a little bit. One day people will be open to this stuff, but some things you just gotta, let's give the world a little bit of a chance to breathe a little bit. Yeah, it's funny how drama sells so well on this world. It's really unfortunate. Even with the secret space program, there's a lot of drama connected to that. And it's unfortunate that's what, of course, you can be overly positive. That gets a lot of attention. That can always turn into psychoticness, like sociopathic energy. Of course, I never admit to that, but a lot of it is. I'll never admit to it. Well, how can you when you're become sociopathic? I guess you can't admit to that when you're already there. So, yeah, overly positive, and just not everyone's like that, but quite a few of them are. So, but yeah, this will blow. This will blow over eventually. How that's happened to another story, but yeah, they're just using the same things they did in 2020. They're just using it. It's different now. They just don't care. I'm surprised they don't. I mean, just throw the kitchen sink at us while they're at it. Yeah, what I was picking up on, they want to make it so restrictive where you can't do anything. That's what they want. You can't get that far, but that's what they want. And people, of course, will fall for that. So that's on them, though. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. This whole thing is, anyway, I'm not going to go into it. It's more of the same. So, yeah, I don't think the government's collapsing or anything like that. Even if it's like evil, it seems like it's living pretty good. So, anyway. So, okay, all right, bring in Arcturian energies and whoever else likes to come through. So, all right, blessings. Yeah, we're back. We're back to the old style for now until I need a change. I've been doing this for 7 years. Yeah, I can get to you after a while. Just putting that out there. If any of you have done things that for 7 years, you probably just lost your mind. Marriage, whatever that might be. And the background's up. It's the second time I had to put it back up. So the cats are around somewhere. So, all right. All right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings. We are the Arcturians. Yes, your planet is just becoming more aware of itself. This is another version of an awakening. Of course, yes, your aliens are not going to land anytime soon. They have to let you go through chaotic timelines that have been chosen here. Not that all of you have chosen it, but some have chosen it, and it's difficult to reverse it. But yes, as you can see, the Earth is going through a turning point. As yes, countries will fall and new ones will be born. So some countries are going to fall and need to fall. as you go into a new timeline. So basically, economies would be shifted, new societies would be built. Doesn't mean a whole world's going under, no, but there are certain places that need to be cleared out, such as places with corruption. Now, not everybody might not see it because some don't want to see it, but some of you are dealing with an astral and you're probably pretty much tired of it. Obviously, there's a lot of human trafficking energy around the world that has not been fully healed. And obviously, that's a complicated subject matter, but it is unfortunately a blood vein of manipulation here on the planet. But there are timelines where that would be healed, but it doesn't mean it's going to be in your time, lifetime here. There's certain reasons for all of this to occur. It's difficult for one person to heal it, obviously, a collective. The collective has to acknowledge it, and it's not. And so it stays shut down. Even if there's a manipulation, humanity is known to break out of those manipulations, but it's tolerating a lot, as you can see. Not everybody, but quite a few. So many of you are not tolerating, and some of you guys go into the astral realm, meaning leave your body completely, go into the astral realm and work there, because not always a human lifetime can solve a problem, as you know. But you are doing what you can here as long as you can in a physical body. Eventually, you'll find some other means to assist the world. Obviously, in the higher astral, yes, there's benefits for it, but also realize there's enviness between your realm and the astral realm. There's envy between your world wanting to be an astral and somebody in the astral world that's well aware of your world wants to be on your planet. Because you're here in the physical, yes, and it's frustrating you can't do things, save the world basically, but you are here as a member of the planet. And there's still a lot of healing you can be brought to the earth by being here. So as much you can be done here physically, even if it's not that exciting. Because the idea of the psyop of this planet is to make you feel like you're accomplishing nothing. It's on all levels, even with successful people. That's why I see successful people in their lives short, because they feel like they're not accomplishing anything. So usually the more, depression energy you have, the most likely you're doing something. You're going against the reality that's programming your society. So humanity has a lot to learn about itself. Many of you are learning, but there's a great deal more that's being learned here. As for the Galactics, many, hands off. Yes, there are, of course, assistants here, yes, but they can't, timelines that are built, such as your virus situation, can't always be stopped. Such as what's happening currently. There are certain things that, yes, we can even actually try to stop it, but then we find ourselves not stopping anything. So it goes beyond our power. It happens all the time. So sometimes assistance from the aliens works, and sometimes it does not. It's a lesson for us also. Well, because alien energies sometimes feel like they can do anything. And there's a lot of tough lessons, especially as an alien energy, Palladian, Syrian, whatever it might be. You realize that being an alien can only do so much, and incarnating here as a human it's kind of like a sacrifice, because you forget everything. It's almost like a tragic situation for some. They see it that way. Some can get quite melodramatic about being here on your planet, especially when they see what your world can turn into, what things can happen. So there's a lot of self-healing you're doing here. You're healing also the alien beings, especially those that are reincarnating as human. As you go back into alien, you're actually healing those energies as a human. So you're healing other alien beings that have been here. Eventually that'll become more clear. So yes, this is the battlefront. Realize, yes, it'd be nice to give awards to all of you. Yes, you have your own little talk show and have talk about all the things you've been through, which there are realms where you do that just to heal. But yes, if there's an award show for those on this planet that are doing a lot in the astral and in the physical, yes, it'd be a long award show. that's kind of a joke. Well, it's serious, but it's also a joke because your world likes to. Well, the elites like to give each other awards as the world burns. That's yes, that's pretty. A lot of healing the world has to go through. So, all right, blessings to other beings here. Blessings. Greetings to you. We are the Palladians from the ninth dimension. There are souls here that are yes healers, and just yeah, interesting from our perspective how many are that are healers on your planet that are still maturing themselves? Meaning some are teenagers and don't even realize it. I mean, yes, they are ancient souls, yes, everybody hears, but some still have a teenager vibration. Well, why? That's why they can heal so well, because you need that young vibration, that young inner child energy to heal, because it's a lot of work. And some of you are dealing with deep energies. It's like you can't even hear yourself anymore because you're dealing much with the astral, deep, lower astral, higher astral, just the astral energies in general. And it can be, it's like swimming against the current. But one thing that the spiritual communities will learn, at least those that are healing or healers, yes, they are healing themselves, but they don't always realize where they are, at least on a level of growth. So that's a little bit cryptic, but some feel like they have all the knowledge of everything, but don't really understand the alien energies completely. So they find it easy to criticize alien beings. If like there's a lot of some just yes feel like they know everything. Let's put it that way. And that is a process for the soul to go through. An ego, a death of the ego is not so easy. It's humorous to see on our end how much needs to be done. Of course, in our reality, we have a lot to heal from ourselves because us as alien energies, especially in ninth dimension and fifth dimension, a lot of us are like kids. We have an energy as of a 5-year-old, 10-year-old, but we could be 30, 40 years old. But we don't always know what difficulties are like. We know what difficulties in our reality is like, but we know we can get out of it. We can see the future usually pretty quickly, not always. Because we see the future pretty quickly, we don't worry so much. But in your world, what do you see in the future? Not much. Now, it doesn't mean that there's the chaos and the crisis. Doesn't mean many of you are falling for those energies, but others will. Yeah, it doesn't mean that many of you in your development are falling for any of it. Maybe just like whatever, right? Or just let it pass. But others are taking it extremely seriously and they don't know how to handle it. So that's why you in your spiritual development, you wonder why you're drained, you're not thinking clearly. It's not most likely it's not you. It's the human collective. Especially in a time of war, especially yes, when the war energies, but we do see it getting worse, not world war. No, it's not at the moment. Those timelines can always come out of nowhere, but we don't see it currently. Not that it's supposed to make any of you feel better. But we don't see it currently. Meaning we just have to let the human process be the human process. Let you do as you wish. But some are, yes, falling for fear timelines that are driving themselves crazy currently due to, yes, fear of world war. And just these things do take time to develop. And many do remember that. And so old memories of war, especially World War II, might start coming up. That's a good thing in a lot of ways. Now, it doesn't mean if you at least if you're able to heal that within yourself or others. But of course, there's many going through it currently that aren't remembering. But there are souls that incarnate here, sometimes in the army, but not always, that are always attracted to war. They're not always there to heal themselves. They're not ready to heal internally. It gets complicated. That war is it does speed things up to a certain level of shifting a timeline, but of course it causes a lot of chaos. But also closes down cities, countries. Of course, Germany has not healed itself completely. That tells you how powerful Germany is and how much trickster energies are truly there. Especially when you have an evil like that in Berlin during World War II. It's not being, many know there's still a lot of corruption there, but the collective is still not willing to. It's difficult for, many are trying to heal it, but it's so deep. Eventually, it'll be made more in the public, but not just yet. It's us as alien energies realize we can tap into those frequencies pretty easily. Of course, humans also can to a certain level. But Germany is a place it still wants to take over the world. At least not everybody, but the higher elite want to. And they do it through the media quietly. They even manipulate Russia currently. So if they can't have war on their own ground, they'll have it somewhere else. Of course, the whole Russian situation, there's always conflict, both sides. Is this basically, you can see like think of it as, we're not here to take sides, but think of it as a married couple that's not getting along with each other anymore. And so they're kind of destroying each other. So that's kind of what's happening. At least it's a more simplistic version of looking at it. So, what is a married couple that is attacking each other going to do? Yes, it could bring others down. Not the whole world, not likely, because it's just between those two. World War II was different. World War II was against everybody. It was the Germans were. Russia's not about to invade other countries, far from it. They're just invading one. So, but other countries will most likely get involved in some way, at least in a humanitarian way, of helping the victims that have been part of it. That have been, trying to the refugees to find better places for them. So most likely if it's done without corruption, that's most likely that's going to occur because they're not going to have a home to go back to. Unlikely. Some will have a home to go back to. Most won't. So there's a lot of homelessness happening currently in the Ukraine. It's unfortunate, but the Ukraine has to go through a cleanse. Of course, Russia is not quite out of this either. Far from it. At least the government itself, not exactly the people, but the government itself. So we'll leave that one with you to connect with. So, blessings. Greetings. We are from Sirius. We are of the fifth dimension. Memories, yes, of the Middle East, of the chaos on your planet. There's actually going to be a lot of prosperous energies in the Middle East, not completely. There are places like Dubai that hasn't really healed. There's still too. Dubai is like a city with makeup on it. It looks good on the outside, but there's still a lot of weaknesses within itself. Iran wants to actually kick out much of its government so it can be more peaceful, but the government has a lot against other governments. It's a bitter rage, you can say. Without going into too much detail, it's, you can say it's a karmic situation. Some don't believe in karma. It's just so. Well, it's not necessarily on Iran, but it's just a part of the Middle East that's forbidding itself to heal. And you can say it does connect to Atlantean energies of Mary. Most Atlantean energies are basically causing chaos before they leave the Earth. So they kind of dented the Earth itself with their energies for humanity to be lost. So a lot of these countries that are the way they are, tyrannical, obviously done by design, so you can't figure yourself out. Some of it, even the Anunnaki was actually used to do that for various different reasons. Even the Anunnaki have been hijacked themselves by other beings. It just basically make these cities, either too expensive to live in, such as New York City and other countries. It's just, potholes everywhere, all done designed to make life even more difficult, especially in New York City, because many they don't really want anyone to live there. Technically, it's like California. They want all the buildings and all that, but realize an empty building can bring in empty spirits. You can bring in ghost beings and things of that kind. So there's always something that will find itself there. So that's another thing about a vacant city. Is it truly vacant? It's like a vacant car lot. It's like astrally, those cars are moving around, driving around. So there are ghost energies driving, a bunch of parked cars, at least in the astral realms. So eventually, this humanity will start to figure out its other side of itself, the astral self. Eventually, there's still a lot of war because your world is still going through war. Obviously, it's not healed war itself. It hasn't opened up its jails. A lot of the criminals go free for obvious reasons, but a lot of criminals have been designed for various different reasons. And a lot of that was done in astral, not the more positive astral, more of the darker cabal energies. The cabal energies in astral obviously are weaponizing a lot of people for reasons to keep this world in chaotic levels. So they have their people in chaos, they have their cities in chaos that justifies their wars. But as humanity wants to, yes, heal the prison system, obviously it's not ready yet to let them free, not at all. But eventually the prison energies will be released from your planet. That will take some time, of course, a long time. You already see defunding the police when you want to defund the prisons, but not yet. Of course, when you get rid of the prisons, then you find out society is living in a prison. Obviously, many already have that idea currently. But it has not fully sunk in. Of course, many don't think about it, they just want to live their lives. It's completely understood. But eventually there will be a culture of wanting to rid the earth of prisons, but do it in a way where it makes sense instead of just letting criminals go free and chaos everywhere. That's very complicated to heal something like that. But it's done by design for a reason. Even if the negative energies are behind bars, they're still doing a lot of chaotic energies on your planet. So yes, it takes a strong energy to heal something like that, and a lot of time to rehabilitate society. Yes, where families are not weaponized. Well, where societies start realizing how much corruption is truly being done and what to do about it. Doesn't mean your government's taking over. No. Like to heal a city. No, it's just becoming more, being part of, creating a culture where the people can heal their families. Instead of governance more of a tyrannical energy where it becomes more peaceful. That takes a lot, obviously. But that is where your earth is heading eventually. Well, knowing where the problems are and how to heal, you have these politicians that just get pulled in. I manipulate all the time. Some do try to make a change, but obviously it gets stopped. The electric car energy is another manipulation. The $5 gas, so most likely it will go away. But yes, right now they're going to stir it up, turn it up as much as they can to make people lose their minds. But that's how, and you can shift the timelines the best of your ability. You never know that all can be deterred. So now, obviously, there are World War timelines people are tapping into because they are living in other realities. Some got there first. Some's like, wow, what does that feel like? What does World War III feel like? And they go there mentally through their energy. That doesn't mean it has to happen here, though. What's this?